Alright, today we're going to be doing a valve cover gasket and rocker box gasket on a 2003 Dodge 2500 with the 5.9 Cummins. So if you look here, this top piece is going to be your valve cover, and this bottom aluminum piece is going to be your rocker box cover. So we're going to end up changing both those gaskets. So first thing we'll do is get a 10mm socket, go ahead and take these 4 bolts off for the plastic cover, and that'll actually expose the bolts for the valve cover. Okay, with the black cover removed, you can actually see your valve cover and your breather, which I'm going to be replacing also, and I'll give you the part numbers for all the gaskets and breather once I'm done at the end of the video. So get an 8mm socket for the bolts and go ahead and loosen up or take off your 2 hoses and get those out of the way. And it looks like the valve cover has 2 more 10mm socket heads, 2 up there, 2 in the middle, and 2 in the very back, if you can see that. So we'll get all this taken off and out of the way. Alright, with the valve cover off, that's soaking into greaser, get all cleaned up. You can see all your rocker arms, all that good stuff, fuel injectors. So it looks like there's 7 bolts that hold this rocker box to the cylinder head, 10mm heads on them, and they go all the way down the center of it. So on this year, it's a 2003, they didn't run the wires for the injectors through the gasket like they do on the newer ones. So you'll see I have 3 connectors down the side. That's the driver's side of the valve cover, and we'll have to unplug those, and it looks like we'll have to disconnect all 6 injectors, and the wiring harness will stay with the rocker box, and we'll pull that out as an assembly. So I'm going to clean these up as best I can so I know what colors they are, and take some good pictures so I don't get, the wires crossed. And it's an 8mm socket for the fuel injector. So we'll get that disconnected, unplug it, get our 7 bolts, and get this rocker box cover out of the way. Alright guys, well there we go. Got the valve cover and the rocker box cover off. Everything looks pretty clean. So the problem I was having is I had a leak down the back of my engine, and I didn't know if it was a valve cover or rocker box cover. So while I was here, I thought I would change both. So hopefully that's what it is. But I recently had the transmission out, so it was pretty messy back there, so I wanted to catch it now so I don't have to keep cleaning up the mess. It wasn't bad enough to drip on the ground, but it sure made a mess down the back of the engine, so hopefully this will fix it. And then here's a rocker box cover here. Here's the old gasket. These are cool, I didn't know about this. So these are your wires for your fuel injector. The nuts are actually encapsulated in those 2 little fingers that come up on both sides. So that was actually pretty smart of them, so you don't drop a little nut down in the engine when you're redoing these. So that was pretty cool. And then this is the very back one. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt to get to, because the firewall's pretty darn close, and then it's under the cowl. So, but we got it. So alright, here are the parts that I ordered. First off this is the breather, 3957 987. That's a genuine Cummins breather. This thing's expensive. It's like 60-70 bucks. So, but while I was there, I might as well change it. There's the old one. I don't know what it looks like inside, but anyway, so there's the new breather. And here's the valve cover gasket. It's a Victor Renz. I like this one because not only does it come with the gasket, it comes with the O-rings for your bolts, O-ring for the breather in case you needed it, and I don't know what those little grommets are, but comes to those. Here's the part number on this, VS50416. So I guess Mala and Victor Wren's merged, so I think that's the different number down there, I don't know. But so that is the valve cover, and then here is the rocker box cover from Cummins, 3963379. That's a genuine Cummins one right there. So alright, well, let's get these parts cleaned up and prepped, and we'll get them back together. Alright, so we got everything cleaned up. Here's the top of the cylinder head. Got the sealing surface all clean. Wiped down with acetone. And even all the way in the back. The back is kind of a pain in the ass. We got that all done, and then you got to really exercise caution. I noticed the insulation right here, if you bump it, stuff comes off, little fibers, so I placed a rag over all the rocker arms and valve train to keep as much dirt out as possible. And then got the rocker box all wiped down, got the new gasket pushed in. This is a Cummins one, and it fits pretty good, obviously. And then got the valve cover all degreased, looking all nice and new again. So same with this. This is the Victor Wren's gasket, and it fit really good too. So sometimes when you go with aftermarket companies, the fitment isn't that great, but this one fit really, really good. And then what I like to do, I just have some regular all-purpose grease. Just put a thin layer all over it, so when it sits on the metal surface, if it needs to squish out or move around or anything, it doesn't bind and end up folding a lip over and then having a leak later on. So just enough to put a nice thin coat over it. You don't need to glob it on or anything. So got the new O-rings on the valve cover bolts. Those are the old ones I pulled off. And yeah, this thing's ready to go on. Alright guys, well, that completes the valve cover rocker box gasket install. Got everything buttoned up, got the new breather on, lines plugged in. All we got to do is reconnect our fuel injector harness, the 3 plugs, and put the black cover on top, and call it done. So hope this helps, and thanks for watching.